There's a cellular process happening in your body right now that could be the difference between dangerous belly fat that wraps around your organs and a metabolism that actually works. Scientists who won a Nobel Prize discovered this mechanism, but most people unknowingly shut it down every single day through one simple habit. For decades, researchers couldn't figure out how cells cleaned themselves. Then, in the early 1990s, Japanese scientist Yoshinori Ohsumi made a breakthrough studying yeast cells that changed everything we understand about metabolism. His discovery of autophagy, literally self-eating, earned him the 2016 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. What he uncovered wasn't just interesting science, it revealed how your body targets visceral fat, that dangerous tissue buried deep around your liver, pancreas, and intestines. Today, I'm walking you through the exact research showing how this process works, backed by studies from institutions you can verify yourself. No gimmicks, just the biology of how cells recycle themselves when you create the right conditions. You need to understand something fundamental. The fat around your midsection isn't like the fat you can pinch on your arms. Visceral fat sits deep in your abdominal cavity, wrapping around vital organs. Research published in multiple studies shows this isn't just stored energy, it's metabolically active tissue that acts like an endocrine organ. Here's what that means for you. Visceral fat produces inflammatory molecules that travel through your bloodstream. Studies from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center found that visceral adipose tissue releases chemicals called cytokines, specifically TNF-alpha and IL-6, that interfere with how your cells respond to insulin. When cells become resistant to insulin, your body produces more insulin to compensate, creating a cycle that promotes even more fat storage. Research from multiple institutions demonstrates something striking. Visceral fat releases free fatty acids directly into your portal circulation, flooding your liver. This process disrupts normal metabolic function and contributes to fatty liver disease, even in people who don't drink alcohol. The correlation is clear in the data. People with higher visceral fat show increased markers of inflammation even when their total body weight appears normal. This explains why two people can weigh the same but have dramatically different health risks. One person's fat is mostly subcutaneous, under the skin, while the other person's fat is visceral, actively disrupting their metabolism from the inside out. If you're over 40, this matters even more. Studies show visceral fat accumulation accelerates with age. If you sit for extended periods, if your waistline has been expanding despite no major diet changes, your body is signaling that visceral fat is accumulating. The question isn't whether this is happening, it's what you can do about it. In 1993, Yoshinori Ohsumi published research that identified 15 genes essential for autophagy in yeast cells. What he discovered was a sophisticated cellular recycling system that all eukaryotic organisms, including humans, possess. This wasn't theory. Using microscopy, he watched yeast cells under starvation conditions form structures called autophagosomes that engulfed damaged cellular components. Think of autophagy as your cell's cleanup crew. Every cell accumulates damaged proteins, dysfunctional parts, and worn-out components over time. Without a removal system, this cellular junk would pile up, impairing function. Autophagy solves this by wrapping damaged material in double membrane structures, then fusing those packages with lysosomes, specialized compartments filled with digestive enzymes that break everything down into reusable building blocks. The Nobel Committee didn't award Ohsumi the prize just for curiosity's sake. His work revealed that autophagy plays critical roles in human health, clearing infections, removing toxic protein clumps associated with neurological diseases, and, importantly for our discussion, breaking down stored fat through a process called lipophagy. Research from Cell Death and Disease Journal confirmed that autophagy deficiency in mice led to increased visceral fat accumulation, larger fat cells, and worsened metabolic markers. Conversely, when researchers enhanced autophagy through compounds like spermidine, mice showed reduced visceral fat and smaller fat cell size. The mechanism was real and measurable. Multiple studies confirm autophagy increases during fasting, but the timeline matters. Research published in the Journal of Physiology involving 121 human participants showed that intermittent time-restricted eating increased autophagy markers measured in blood cells over 6 months. Short-term fasting studies using mice showed profound neuronal autophagy activation within 24 to 48 hours. The consensus from reviews published in Aging Research Reviews is clear. Both fasting and calorie restriction upregulate autophagy across multiple tissues and organs in response to nutrient deprivation. The mechanism makes evolutionary sense. When external nutrients become scarce, cells shift to internal recycling to generate energy and building blocks for survival. A human study published in 2023 examining 17 to 19-hour daily fasting over 30 days found increased expression of autophagy genes ATG5, ULK1, and BECN1 within 2 weeks. These aren't abstract markers, they're the actual proteins that construct the autophagy machinery. Insulin levels drop during fasting periods, removing one of the major suppressors of autophagy. Here's what research shows happens. After approximately 12 to 16 hours without food, autophagy markers begin increasing. This timing explains why overnight fasting, finishing dinner at 7 p.m. and not eating until 9 a.m. the next day, creates a 14-hour window where cellular cleanup can occur. You're not starving yourself. You're giving cells time to switch from building mode to maintenance mode. Research published in Nature Communications and Cell Death and Disease reveals autophagy's specific relationship with fat tissue. Studies show that autophagy deficiency in mice results in, quote, more abundant subcutaneous and visceral fat, with an abnormal increase in the mean diameter of adipocytes. When autophagy function was restored through compounds like spermidine, visceral fat deposits decreased and fat cell size normalized. The mechanism involves lipophagy, autophagy specifically targeting lipid droplets stored in cells. These aren't random events. Studies from the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center demonstrated that enhanced autophagy in visceral adipose tissue simultaneously accomplished 3 things: breaking down stored fat droplets through enzymatic degradation, reducing inflammatory molecule production by up to 2 to 3-fold, and clearing damaged mitochondria that contribute to insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction. This creates what researchers call a positive metabolic feedback loop. When autophagy reduces inflammation in visceral fat, insulin sensitivity improves. Better insulin sensitivity means your body can more efficiently access stored fat for energy rather than continuously storing more. Research from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center found improved insulin sensitivity occurred even before significant weight loss. The quality of fat tissue improved first, followed by gradual reduction in quantity. Studies examining autophagy markers in human adipose tissue from overweight and obese subjects found higher expression of autophagy-related genes, specifically ATG5, ATG7, and ATG12, correlated with metabolic measures including waist-to-hip ratio, 2-hour glucose concentration, and insulin levels. The relationship between autophagy and visceral fat metabolism is measurable, documented, and reproducible across multiple research centers worldwide. A randomized controlled trial published in Cell Reports Medicine studied time-restricted eating combined with low-carbohydrate diet over 3 months. Participants practicing 8-hour eating windows showed reduced visceral fat accumulation, improved insulin sensitivity, and increased autophagy markers, even when total calorie intake stayed the same. The key finding: eating frequency matters as much as what you eat. Research from the Salk Institute demonstrated that restricting eating to certain hours without changing total calories provided metabolic benefits. Another study involving intermittent fasting plus time-restricted eating found a significant difference in change from baseline in autophagy flux at 6 months compared to standard care. Studies examining circadian autophagy showed that autophagy genes peak at night, overlapping with natural fasting periods during sleep. When researchers shifted fasting to daytime in experimental models, the metabolic benefits disappeared. The timing of when you fast matters as much as the duration. This isn't about starvation. Research shows moderate approaches work: finishing dinner by 7 p.m., sleeping through the night, and breaking fast around 9 to 10 a.m. creates a 14 to 15-hour window. During this period, insulin remains low enough for autophagy processes to activate. Studies confirm this window stimulates autophagy without requiring extreme measures or unsustainable protocols that most people can't maintain long-term. Research in the journal Autophagy demonstrates that exercise activates autophagy through cellular energy depletion. A study from the University of Copenhagen found that both high-intensity interval training and endurance exercise increase autophagy markers, specifically benefiting visceral fat metabolism. When you exercise, your cells deplete ATP, their energy currency, which activates energy-sensing pathways that trigger autophagy. Exercise essentially tells cells, we need energy now and resources are limited, triggering systems that break down stored components, including visceral fat deposits, to meet immediate demands. Sleep quality significantly affects autophagy activation. Studies published in Science Advances show autophagy in many tissues follow circadian rhythms, with peak activity occurring during sleep and overnight fasting periods. Research demonstrates that disrupted sleep patterns impair autophagy regardless of dietary interventions, which partly explains why multiple studies link sleep deprivation to increased visceral fat accumulation and metabolic dysfunction. The research on moderate caloric restriction from Aging Cell Journal found that even a modest 15 to 20% reduction below maintenance calories enhances autophagy markers without triggering starvation responses. This isn't crash dieting, it's creating a consistent metabolic environment where cells aren't constantly flooded with excess nutrients that suppress cleanup processes. One critical finding from Cell Journal research: autophagy benefits are hormetic, meaning periodic activation is beneficial, but chronic, severe restriction becomes counterproductive and can actually impair metabolic function. The optimal approach involves cycling between periods of normal eating and restriction, what researchers call metabolic flexibility. This allows cells adequate time for both growth and cleanup, not perpetual starvation that can impair rather than enhance metabolic health. Successful long-term application requires sustainable patterns that work with your lifestyle, not extreme measures that create additional stress. Research from Harvard Medical School tracking inflammatory markers shows changes begin within 2 to 3 weeks of regular autophagy activation. Visceral fat tissue becomes less inflamed even before size changes occur. You might not see dramatic scale movement immediately, but cellular-level improvements are happening. By 6 to 8 weeks, studies indicate measurable improvements in insulin sensitivity. Your body requires less insulin to manage blood sugar, creating more favorable conditions for fat metabolism. Participants in research studies reported better energy levels, reduced afternoon fatigue, and less bloating during this phase. The 3-month mark is where research from the Mayo Clinic shows visceral fat reduction becomes more apparent. Why this timeline? Your body doesn't just dump fat recklessly. Research shows it systematically repairs cellular machinery, restores metabolic function, and then accesses stored fat in a controlled manner. This is biology working correctly, not a crash diet racing against your physiology. Studies examining long-term maintainers of healthy body composition into their 60s and 70s reveal consistent patterns: regular eating windows, avoiding constant snacking, physical activity that challenges cellular energy systems, and prioritized sleep. These aren't extreme behaviors, they're sustainable patterns that work with your body's natural autophagy mechanisms rather than constantly suppressing them through around-the-clock eating. Start with an achievable 12 to 14-hour overnight fast. Research confirms this duration initiates autophagy processes. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., wait until 7 to 9 a.m. before eating. This isn't deprivation, it's allowing your body's natural cleanup cycle to function. Studies show that constant snacking keeps insulin elevated, which research confirms suppresses autophagy. Consider consolidating meals into 2 to 3 substantial eating periods, rather than 6 small snacks throughout the day. Research indicates this creates windows where autophagy can activate. Move your body regularly. Studies demonstrate both high-intensity exercise and steady-state activity increase autophagy markers. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistent challenge to your cellular energy systems. Prioritize sleep quality. Research shows disrupted sleep impairs autophagy regardless of your eating patterns. Aim for consistent sleep schedules that align with your natural circadian rhythms. These strategies support your metabolic health naturally. I'm not claiming this cures diseases or replaces medical treatment. I'm showing you what peer-reviewed research says about how your body manages visceral fat when given appropriate conditions. According to the National Institutes of Health, visceral fat reduction through enhanced autophagy is associated with reduced cardiovascular disease risk, improved insulin sensitivity, decreased inflammation, and better overall metabolic health markers. Your cells possess a Nobel Prize-winning recycling system that can target the most metabolically dangerous fat in your body. Yoshinori Ohsumi's research proved autophagy exists and functions in all of us. Subsequent studies from research institutions worldwide have shown how to activate it through sustainable lifestyle choices. The mechanism is straightforward. Create periods where nutrient intake pauses, allowing insulin to stay low enough for cellular cleanup to occur. Move your body to challenge energy systems. Sleep consistently to align with circadian autophagy rhythms. These aren't extreme interventions, they're basic biological patterns. Start simple. Extend your overnight fast to 12 to 14 hours. Stop constant snacking. Move regularly. Sleep consistently. These steps work with your biology, not against it. If this research helped you understand how cellular processes affect visceral fat, hit that like button. Comment yes below if you're implementing even one of these strategies. Share this with someone struggling with stubborn belly fat or concerned about metabolic health. Subscribe for evidence-based approaches to metabolism and health. Real research explained clearly. No hype, no false promises. Your body already knows how to clean itself up and target dangerous visceral fat. You just need to create the conditions that allow it to happen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.